Hello everyone, this is Here's Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our Subscribers Game Tournament as we look to wrap up Round 2 here with our 8th and final match between Will Be Deed versus Trivenicus. Now this is a matchup between our 8th and 9th seeded player, so very close in terms of their ranking, both second place finishes from the group stages. And looking at the comp, we have Will Be Deed bringing an army of Xu Huang, Wen Chou, and Yan Yu. So there is some interesting modifications here. We see there is no Qingzhou unit. Instead, we have Saber Infantry, which is a good modification as we have more morale on those units. Spear Guards and Z Infantry on Wen Chou, and finally some of the Banded Cavalry on Yan Yu. Interesting choices. Overall, the army has a lot of unit, but it's still lower or medium tier unit. Nothing too crazy here. General usage, pretty good. We have Flame the Phoenix on Xu Huang. We have a Roar on Wen Chou that does 30 morale hit, which is still significant. And of course, the Stalker ability and Mending ability of Yan Yu, and just a lot of health on the generals, as we have 54k champion health on both Wen Chou and Yan Yu, and of course 40k on the Sentinel, and Unbreakable on Xu Huang. Then looking at Trivenicus' side, we have the classic spam of Defender of Empire. And honestly, that might actually work really well on this map because you don't have to worry about running into the enemy if you just march with your invincible, not invincible, but unbreakable spear guards. And there's 12 of them here on Huang Fusong and Lu Zhi, who are the only two generals who can bring them. Of course, with Lu Zhi, we have the Turning of the Tide, which will come in handy as once you rout a weak enemy, you can boost the attack power of your units. And of course, the defenders of Empire are not that strong offensively, so this will definitely help even the odds. And then we have two sets of active abilities with the Hail of Arrow on Huang Fusong and the Poison Volley on Yan Baihu. And then for invisible units, we have a couple of the White Tiger archers that can lay some Poison Arrow, and two invisible cavalry to hunt for weak targets. So pretty interesting matchup. We have essentially heavy infantry on both sides. One side, the infantry is stronger. The other side, the generals are stronger, because we do have a strategist on Trivenicus' side, and then both of his generals are going to be sentinels with 40k health, and I believe they're not unbreakable as well. So maybe the Roar will play an effect in evening out the general side of things, but if Trivenicus is able to land some of his abilities early and get rid of the Hail of Arrows, get rid of the Poison Volley to do damage to Will Be Deed's army, and then if they're able to overcome just Xu Huang, actually, who has the slam ability, I don't think there's enough on Will Be Deed's side to actually kill off all the defender of the Empire. He needs to keep Xu Huang alive so that Flame the Phoenix available, and we'll see how this one plays out on the battlefield. And as we load into battle here, pretty standard deployment by both sides. We have Will Be Deed putting his infantry in the back, cavalry in the front, generals all together, and they're all on the ridge. And for Trivenicus, it's the box of the Defender of Empire, plus the two White Tiger Raiders, archers in the middle, Yan Baihu on the side to go out and maybe try to find a Poison Volley, cavalry in the back to protect from any sort of guerrilla deployment behind, and we'll see how this battle plays out. I think for Will Be Deed, once he sees the general list and the unit count, he can pretty much guess he's up against the entire army of Defender of Empires. And if that's the case, then he really has to win the general fight pretty cleanly to keep Xu Huang, combat capable, to keep slamming, because that's the only win condition I see. The infantry is not enough. The cavalry have to kind of fight with the generals to keep it clean. We have Huang Fusong coming out looking for Hail of Arrows. Oh, Yan Baihu's staying for the Stalker bonus, huh? I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's also one of the rare matches where neither side has fire arrows. I think this is the first matchup in the round where neither side went with any sort of fire on such a heavily dense vegetated map, which is actually kind of surprising. I mean, I think in a sense, both sides were kind of preparing for that. We have the unit that are slightly more premium than Qingzhou units, but they don't fight as well as Qingzhou unit, just to make sure they don't route to fire. So I think there was preparation done by Will Be Deed for that, because usually when you pick Xu Huang, you'll be going with Qingzhou unit. And then on the other side, we just straight up went Unbreakable. And they turtle up, you're not really afraid of arrows, but fire will still do some damage to you. It's just not going to be a lot. Yeah, I guess I don't expect the box comp to be moving. But if most of this is invisible, WoBD just has to search. Yeah, oh, poison arrows going out. Will poison volley go out as well? Hard to find a good angle. I just gotta spread these shots, make sure everyone gets hit a little bit. He's doing an okay job of it. It's a lot of microing. Going for a showdown right away. I think to even out. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, the elevation. Only 2 guys get hit with that, and now he's gonna take some damage. Get roared on, get double roared on, combo roar for 48, pretty much like a Sun Ce ability. It's a pretty interesting roar comp, but you're running up against Unbreakable thing. They're trying to kill the poison units. Ultra's backing off a little bit because he's vulnerable. Will we get like a dismounted Hail of Arrow to try to kill the enemy generals here? Friendly fire. Well, they're dismounted. On purpose? Or I think Ventral's not on purpose. I just Ventral lost his horse. This is a good opportunity. Here comes the cavalry to go hunt down Xu Huang, who is trying to chase the strategist. Enemy infantry, they're just going for it. I think at this point the box needs to spread out and start engaging. Alright, got the cavalry over here. Oh, Hail of Arrow. Decent hit. Decent hit on Yanyu. And not too much friendly fire because it was almost point blank. Dismounted, joining the fight. Yeah, so clearly I think Ventral was not on purpose. But now we got the dismount response by Trivenicus. A lot of health to go through, but they're doing a good job. They're kind of trapped in the middle of the box. The other infantry can't come in and help. Maybe some of the rear box unit can come and help. But Yanyu's done. He'll probably bounce back. We've seen him bounce back a couple times. Xu Huang has returned. Xu Huang went on a tour. I mean, a little bit late, turning the tide, boosting the damage. Now let's see who they focus on. They should focus on Xu Huang, actually. Even if 2 generals died, they should just focus on Xu Huang here. And where is... okay, he's close. He's close. It's important, because you're giving Stifling Deluge, you're giving Turning the Tide, and you're giving Inspiring Surge. So, strategists are important here. And now Ventral is also routed. They didn't hit the one Unbreakable guy, but it's working out. And here the infantry is coming in for support as well. And I think it's over for WoBD, as his generals are all dying. That's it. With that killed, there's no way they can kill this many Defender of Empire. The cavalry trying to find an opening, but they're boxed in on all sides. No one could go in and help them. And they can just recover and now lay down some really good Hail of Arrows and poison volleys, and there's nothing WoBD can do about it. And they can boost... Unbreakable wall. Now some of these side units should be moved out to fight. I think a lot of players with box mentality just super stubborn. Like, gotta keep the beauty of the box active, even though the enemy's ready, like trying to kill every single one of your unit in the front. Let's find an angle. Yep, let's find an angle and start Hail of Arrowing. Yeah, there's nothing you can do now. You lost all 3 of your generals. WoBD's army is just sitting ducks at this point. Who's turn very soon. Charging into the middle to kill the poison arrows, very risky. I mean, he probably didn't see the infantry. He went and followed the arrows, thinking that it might just be some, you know, White Tiger Raiders. But then once you bump into it, and especially once one of your generals dismount, maybe you just stuck and have to fight, because, like, what else can you do? But I think that's the risk of just sending them up. Make sure they're gone for good. It's over. There's nothing. There's nothing WoBD can do about this. I'm surprised at how well they held up in that fight against the 2 champions. I mean, if Xu Huang was there, probably help a little bit, but there was just a ton of enemy units in there as well. The debuffs on the abilities worked out really well with Wuju staying still. So overall, I mean, just fell into a trap. A box of unbreakable infantry. And once one of your general dismount, you either have to abandon him, or you have to stand and fight. The roar combo worked really well. Yamaihu routed, but someone need to chase him, right, to keep him routed, or else once those abilities expire, you know, he's just going to bounce back, which is exactly what happened. Which unit's still fighting? Ah, cavalry on this side. I mean, I applaud the effort, but this is definitely surrender worthy. Yep, got the surrender. Well, in one sense, it's a comp counter. Not even a direct counter, just that you don't have any tools to deal with unbreakable infantry in this scale. Maybe the general. I mean, Xu Huang would have to do a lot of work to kill off all of these units. And in that regard, you know, props to Trivenicus for going with his comp on this map and just knowing that his army can just mow down and do as much as possible. There are weaknesses. You know, it's also weak to Poison Volley. It's also weak to Yan Hu, of course. I mean, even Huangai's Firebomb could do a number against a tightly packed bomb squad. I guess no one really going to go Juggernauts. I mean, Juggernauts would be an interesting choice on this map. You know, in hindsight, while I was picking it, burning the forest in front of you is risky because the fire will obviously hit you, but you're guaranteed to not get picked off by range because you can just hide it on the edge of the forest, and when the enemy units approach you, you just unleash your Jet of Flames, and you can wipe out a lot of infantry that way. And in a matchup like this, where the comp's more passive, you can definitely walk your trebuchet in the forest up close to them and just start burning them, and there's not much they can do except for send their generals at you. And if you keep some of your generals near your juggernauts to protect them, you can bait them into coming to fight you, whereas in this case the poison arrows baited Wolby-D's generals to go charge into that, thinking that, you know, they're just, you know, stalk and snipe archers who think they can stay hidden, shooting these green arrows out of nowhere, runs in, gets dismounted, and it was over with the fight. The roar combo is very nice, changing the comp up to potential fire to kind of counter that without the Tinjo unit was also nice, but there was nothing they can do about the Defender of Empires, and this was definitely a very one-sided affair, as our final previous season champ goes down as well. Wolby-D was a champ, Zero was a champ, King of Yan was a champ for our previous 3 seasons, and they have all fallen here in the round of 16. No one will be advancing to round of 8, and we'll definitely get a new champ crowned for this season. So looking forward to the next round. There will be a teaser video about the rules and how the round goes. It's going to be a siege round. We'll have a best of 2, so basically just the alternating siege for both sides. They will be picking bans, and if you're tied, there's a special round where you have to play me. So I am going to get involved a little bit in this tournament. Nothing too crazy. I typically don't do anything in a fair matchup, because then it doesn't feel fair for the players for me to play too much. So we'll have a special setup for me, just like previously before. We have done some special rounds where I got involved, and look forward to that. So hope you guys enjoyed this round, and props to our players for advancing, and we'll see you all in the next round. Until then, bye!